my name's Alex. Today we're going to be covering Campfire Basics. How do you make a campfire in 3 basic steps in a fast amount of time, the least amount of effort? You can get it started in 5 minutes and everybody will be impressed. Alright guys, the first principle we want to understand when making a fire is what fire configuration are we going to be using. The most successful configuration that I have found is the Teepee Fire method. The second principle we want to understand is building the teepee fire properly. Building the fire properly means sourcing the correct materials and building it up in the proper sequence so that when we start it, it ignites without any effort at all. The last principle and the trick that I'm going to show you is how to make your fire starting stick. I'm telling you, it's the easiest thing to do and it's going to get your fire started like that. Alright, now the next thing we want to do is we want to try and find dry kindling in the forest. If you live in the city, I'm going to also show you later how to get dry kindling from firewood. Now remember, when you're selecting dry wood, you want to make sure that the tree doesn't have any green leaves. If the branch has green leaves, it means that it's living, right? So when you select wood for your fire, you want to select dead branches. And the way you tell that, of course, is by their color. Like here, you can see most of them are gray, or you can easily bend them. And if they break off pretty easily, if they snap, it means that they're probably dead. Those are the branches that you want to use in your fire. So I want to try and collect a variety of kindling. The first size of kindling is going to be the size of roughly a matchstick. The second size will be the thickness of your pinky, and the third size will be the thickness roughly of your thumb. All right, everyone, so we have finally collected our firewood. So this is our starting kindling. We're going to use this to start the flame to ignite the medium-sized kindling, okay? The last pieces of kindling are the largest pieces. The point is you want to have a lot of small kindling and a lot of medium kindling. Once these two are ignited, it's much easier to ignite the larger size, and the larger size can even be damp, okay? Next, I'm going to show you what to do if you don't have access to a forest and you're trying to make a fire with firewood. So we want to take a 3/4 inch, roughly 5/8 thick piece of wood that's dry, and we want to basically split it down on one of these grain lines into about 1/8 of an inch thick pieces. You notice here how I start the cracks. I just do a light hammer like this, and then I pound, release my hand, release. So this may seem tedious, but remember, the more time you spend doing this now, the faster your fire is going to light and the easier it is going to be to maintain as it's going. Look at that. That's the fun part. Now we're going to actually make the teepee fire. The trick when making your teepee is that you actually want to make the teepee out of the medium sizes. 3 pieces from here that we can use to make the teepee structure. Now, when you're making your tripod like this, you want to leave one side larger. So this side is where I'm going to actually be putting my flame. Okay, so the next thing we want to do, we want to take our small kindling now, and we actually want to cover the rest of this teepee from the outside like this, okay? Now, I go back to my medium-sized pieces and I'm going to lay the rest of those over the top, just in the exact same way, okay? I go to my largest pieces. Again, same principle. Okay, now what I want to do here is I want to take a long stick. I'm going to take some either thin paper or some cardstock and basically just rip it up into some long pieces. So I want to wrap up this paper like this, and what I want to do is I want to basically hold it and wrap it around the end of this stick. I want to make a torch, okay? It doesn't have to be that thick, but I want it to be substantial enough that it can easily catch the small kindling, okay? Again, just clench and really try and get it squeezed down there, okay? All right, so that's your basic torch. It's just a stick with some paper wrapped around the end. Remember, the idea of this torch is that we have length now with this stick, and we're going to use this. We're going to light this end with a lighter and put this in the middle. And that way it keeps our hands, keeps our body away from the flame, and starts the fire really easily. We have our small kindling, we have our medium size, we have our large pieces. When making our fire with natural wood from the forest, we want to pick the medium-sized kindling, okay? Which have a natural fork or some kind of branch on them that we can use to our advantage. So this is a good piece. The reason that the prongs, that these forks are important is because we're going to use them to interlock one another to make the teepee structure. That's very important. Put two here for the door. I put my third one behind like this, and I interlock all three of the twigs. Look at that. And make sure to leave a door roughly about the size of your fist. All right, so next thing we're going to do, we're going to take our small pieces of kindling and we're going to build it up around the outside. Next, we're going to move on to our medium kindling. The last step, to take pieces of larger kindling, put it on the outside. Okay, so now we have our torch. We're going to light it. Okay, so we put our torch in the fire. This kindling is just going to ignite immediately. You're not going to have to do any work. The whole reason it's igniting is because we've done the preparation. We've taken the time to source the proper thickness of all the tinder and make the fire.